Someone approached us and said, you know, you don't have to get teased anymore if you join the gang. We'll make you part of our family. We'll protect you.
Protection, acceptance, and love. Things 15-year-old Dora Orozco wanted so badly that joining or jumping into a violent LA street gang was worth it, despite the brutal initiation.
6 men, they were gonna beat me up for 1 minute. It's a small sacrifice, a minute for a family.
Dora had moved to LA at 13 to live with her mom. When Dora was only 3, her mother left her and her siblings behind in Guatemala for a new life in America. Raised by relatives and friends, she held on to the promise of a reunion.
She would say, I'm coming back once I get enough money to bring you guys here. It did get me excited, and I hope that I will have a family at some point.
While that reunion did come, it was far from a happy one.
And that's when the verbal abuse started. A lot of screaming, a lot of, you're not good, you're not this. I remember I was dragged one time from my hair to the bathroom, and I just started to believe lies that were spoken over me.
Her home wasn't the only place she felt unloved. The church she'd grown up in taught about a judgmental God easily angered and slow to give his love.
You had to earn your way, kind of, for God to love you. Like, if you misbehave, God is gonna punish you.
So taking a beating from a gang to find love and acceptance seemed like a small price. However, Dora would get neither, as her mom moved them to Nashville days before her initiation. Once in Tennessee, the abuse from her mom and mom's boyfriend became more aggressive. Abused and angry, Dora continued to believe God was punishing her.
I thought God wasn't listening to me. God is not there. You know, he's not rescuing me, but he was literally hell every day.
Through her school years, Dora learned to put on a smile, masking her trauma and anguish. Then at 19, Dora found something that made smiles come a little more easily.
Someone offered me a pill and said, you know, it's gonna make you feel better. It was like I was in heaven, because really it would just numb everything and I would be a different person.
She became addicted to pills, began cutting, and even made several suicide attempts. Finally, her mother encouraged her to go back to church.
I was so numb in my mind with not just the pills, but just numb in my spirit. And I said, I don't want that God that you have, because it doesn't work.
Then in 2015, after nearly a decade of addiction, Dora was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. To her, it was more proof of God's judgment.
Despair, like, this is my life, you know. I thought that because I had gone out and got addicted to pills is the reason God was punishing me.
Her symptoms progressed rapidly in the coming months, and she found herself in constant pain, destined to live out her life in a wheelchair.
It was always pain, torment. It was always like that for years.
In December 2016, Dora decided to finally take control of her life and end it.
Bought the rope, set the date, and I wrote the letter blaming everybody. I called my mom and I told her, I'm gonna commit suicide, and you're gonna have to answer to your God for what you did to me.
She went to bed, planning to hang herself first thing the next morning. Then at 2 a.m., she woke up to 3 shadowy figures who began chasing her through the house.
Once we got to my living room, they stopped chasing me. They were shaking and pointing at something like this. I had a Bible in my living room. I always had it. It had dust on it. I never read it. I said, wow, they're afraid of the Bible. That's when I heard a voice coming out of it. And he said, if you don't want your life, give it back to me. And I said, I knew it was God at that time, but I was so angry at him. So all I said was like, you want my brokenness, you can have it.
The figures vanished, and Dora quietly fell asleep. When she woke up later that morning,
I had peace in my heart, you know, and I knew that something supernatural had happened to me.
Something else miraculous had happened.
It took me 10 minutes to realize that I was actually walking again with no pain in my body. I said, Jesus, you healed my heart and my body. I couldn't believe that he loved me like that. When they say you can have whatever's left, he just took all of it and made it brand new.
All thoughts of suicide and desire for drugs vanished. Her anger faded, and in time, she reconciled with her mother. Then, at her next checkup, her doctor confirmed she'd been healed.
He said, we're not able to find any MS in your system anymore. Your brain is normal. And I was so excited. I said, well, Jesus healed me.
Today, Dora takes the lessons she's learned and shares them and the gospel with others through mission work.
And I don't have much to give him, but I do have Jesus. It's really just surrendering your heart and saying, you know what, I can't do it on my own anymore. But here you go. I didn't have to work for his love. He loved me when I was my worst.